Spiderman, Far From Home. Before I talk about this movie, I have to rant. Once again, I find myself in the movie theater, sitting down, getting ready, when I spot a kid and his mom strolling up the aisle. He couldn't have been more than 6 or 7 years old. The kid was dressed in a one-piece cow outfit or something, and this struck me as odd, and I thought, oh god no, please dear lord, don't let it be a Fats McGee. And he sits down to my right after counting every seat number, making sure it's the right seat. One after the other he approaches. I was sitting in seat number 53, so you could imagine his retarded ass waddling over, counting like 58, 57, 56, 55. I'm like, please stop counting, you imp. He stops and exclaims something in some sort of Slavic language. It could have been Polish or Russian, I'm not sure. But he blurts it out really loud and sits his ass down. And I thought that would be the end of it, but I've been wrong before. After about 10 minutes into the movie, he starts commenting the most mundane things, like Happy Hogan saying heads up or something, I don't know. The kid goes heads up. I know where this was going, so I decided to hush him early. I had to do this a few times before things calmed down a bit. About 40 minutes in, it was somewhere around the Prague opera scene. The kid just starts a fucking meltdown, like his autism, retardation, and ADHD were having an argument in his head. He starts screaming and jumping up and down in his seat, with his mother telling him to shut the fuck up. Her words, not mine. I think she hit him at one point. Hard to see, since it was dark and in my peripheral vision. To which he screams even more. My friend and partner, who you may know from the Game of Thrones video, is sitting to my left, and he bends over me, and he is a large fella, and he fucking tells the kid and mom to stop now. Emphasis on the now. I've never seen him this angry before. The kid's mom starts tugging him and tries to get him to leave, but it was all in vain. He was dead set on ruining this movie for everyone. Everyone in the theater is getting annoyed now, and the kid starts kicking the seat in front of him, and I exclaim that, take that fucking kid out of there. I can't even. After that episode, the mom was done and started looking at her phone, which glared at me in the eye to top it off. The kid started to calm down a bit, still hopping about and commenting, but the mother decided to stay anyway. I missed a good 15 to 20 minutes of the movie's middle, where all the character shit happens, so my review might not be as complete as I would want it to, because of this. And this only angered me further. And to finish this rant off, at the end of the movie, the two of them rushed out the theater before anyone could say a word. And I talked to the staff with the argument that if I would have left the theater during the movie to tell them about the kid, I would only end up missing more, since I was in the middle of the theater. I didn't get a refund, so I won't be going back for a second viewing. Now onto the review. As always, spoilers ahead. I've always loved Mysterio. He's not a great villain, per se, but ever since I fought him in the Spider-Man 2 game, he just stuck with me. He was never going to have an appearance on the big screen due to him looking like this. But they did it, and they did it pretty good. Jake Gyllenhaal was awesome as Mysterio. My gripe is that Mysterio's potential wasn't fully realized. I wish that the movie would have focused more on that, rather than the love triangle subplot that never really goes anywhere. All of us who knows the slightest bit about comics knows that Mysterio is a fake. He stages crimes so that he can come to the rescue and push Spider-Man out of the way. The way he does it makes sense. The fact that he flies around shooting magic and battles giant elementals such as Sandman, Hydra Man and Molten Man was pretty whack, and if he was fake, how the hell does he do it? They were very smart in the marketing of this movie, saying that he has crossed over from an alternate universe just after Into the Spider-Verse, making people believe that there's going to be a connection there eventually. A fun little side note, he actually refers to the MCU as Universe 616, which is fucking inaccurate. Anyway, this turned out to be complete bullshit, and I gotta give it to the marketing department. That was a nice move. But how does he do it though? He uses an already established technology to project super advanced holograms of himself, therefore he can fly and shoot magic, and the creatures he's battling. if you think about it, holograms have existed in the universe since the very first Iron Man movie, so it's definitely not far-fetched to think that this can happen. When he finally is revealed, he goes around the room and offers toasts to everyone of his accomplices, and giving them credit for their part of the plan. In this way, he can vomit exposition, and it fucking works! And I thought it was great. His first battle with Spider-Man was also a neat sequence, and really felt Mysterio-esque, with tons of cool references to the source material thrown in there. So, I really like that element of Mysterio really getting into Spider-Man's head, since Mysterio is not a fighter whatsoever. Usually, when Spider-Man gets within 2 feet of Mysterio, he clocks him out in one punch. So, Mysterio just have to keep fucking with Spider-Man's head to keep him at bay, and that was a really cool sequence. Now here comes my main gripe. As per usual, the MCU movies try to appeal to as many people as possible for as great a profit as possible, which leaves you with a bunch of awkward attempts at humor. The first act tries way too hard to make you laugh at all times. It didn't really feel like a Spider-Man movie. It was, sure, Homecoming was like this too, but I think I felt more of it here. The first act is more of a high school comedy. And yeah, they could have cut back on some of that. If you laugh at those attempts at humor, you are going to hell, there's no question about it. The post-credit scene, oh my god, had one of the best fucking fanservice moments I have seen in a long time. It ends with Spider-Man catching a news broadcast held by no other than J.K. Simmons himself. I was just so happy to have him back in the role everyone remembers him for. A nice little nugget. Anyway, J. Jonah Jameson shows a video recording from Mysterio during the final battle. But it has been altered so that Spider-Man gets the blame for all the chaos, and to top it all off, Mysterio reveals Spider-Man's identity to everyone. So, a little bit of a cliffhanger there. To summarize, the best parts about this movie were Peter Parker dealing with Tony's passing. He lost a genuine father figure, again, and now has huge shoes to fill, as people keep talking about the next Iron Man. Peter and MJ had great chemistry, and I wish we could have seen more of that. Peter and Mysterio had great chemistry, and I wish we could have seen more of that. That was pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.